Thank you for joining us this afternoon. If everybody could start making their way to their seats, I'd appreciate it. We'll begin the press conference here momentarily. Following remarks from the podium, Chancellor Gaber and Kevin White will take questions from the attending media. Thank you for joining us today. It's my pleasure to introduce Chancellor of UNC Charlotte, Dr. Sharon Gaber.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Thanks for being here. This is a great day for Niner Nation. I'd like to start by recognizing several individuals with us here today. First, UNC Charlotte Trustees, Henry Atkins, John Bailey, and Board Chair Dante Wilson. Dante and David Raven also served on our search committee, along with Katie Renaud, our Senior Associate Athletic Director for Governance and Regulatory Affairs. I'd like to recognize Commissioner of the American Conference, Tim Pernetti. Thank you for being here. Officials from the ACC, Commissioner Jen Phillips, Vice President and Vice President for Finance and Business Operations, Kelvin Anthony. Also, Clemson University Athletics Director, Graham Neff. Also here, Charlotte former Trustee and Board Chair, Gene Johnson. Thank you for being here. Charlotte former Athletics Director and AD Emeritus, Judy Rose. Charlotte Interim Athletics Director, Jesh Humphrey. Several of our head coaches are here today, and many donors and friends with us whose support means so much to this university and our athletics programs. And last, but certainly not least, we're thrilled to have several members of Kevin White's beautiful family with us, including his wife, Jari, his son, Camden, his daughter, Kinley, his mother, his brother. Could I ask the entire White family that's here today if you would stand and allow us to extend a warm Charlotte welcome to you. Thank you for being here. Today is a great day for Charlotte athletics and for our university as we introduce and celebrate Kevin White as the next Director of Athletics at UNC Charlotte. Charlotte is a university that competes in the classroom, in research, and on the court and field. We are an R1 institution in one of the most dynamic cities in the country. Our expectations are high, and our aspirations are even higher. Athletics matters here. It matters to our student athletes, it matters to our campus community, it matters to our alumni and supporters, it matters to me, and it matters to the Charlotte region. We're committed to competing at the highest level in the American Conference and positioning Charlotte athletics for sustained competitive excellence. With that in mind, when we set out to find our next athletics director, we were looking for four things: someone who can fundraise, someone who gets revenue generation, someone who knows how to win, and someone with a proven track record of strong and visionary leadership. We were pleased to have a robust pool of more than 100 people interested in this position. In every category, one applicant stood out from the rest. Kevin White checked all four boxes and then some. At Clemson, he helped lead one of the nation's premier athletics programs, serving as Deputy Director of Athletics and playing a central role in competitive success, revenue growth, NIL strategy, student-athlete wellness, and major capital investments. He understands what it takes to build programs that compete for championships and how to sustain that success over time. This is a pivotal time in all of collegiate athletics. The landscape is evolving rapidly. Programs that succeed will be those that are disciplined, aligned, and bold in their approach. Kevin has demonstrated that he can lead in that environment. Most importantly, he understands that competitive success and student-athlete development go hand in hand. We are committed to ensuring our student-athletes have the resources, support, and environment necessary to compete at the highest level and succeed beyond their playing careers. Charlotte Athletics has tremendous potential. We have talented student-athletes, dedicated coaches and staff, and a passionate community behind us. Kevin's leadership will help us harness that momentum and elevate our competitive standing in meaningful and measurable ways. Kevin, we're excited to welcome you and your family to Charlotte. We look forward to the work ahead and to building a championship drive and culture that reflects the ambition of our university and our city. Thank you, and go Niners. Now, I welcome UNC Charlotte's chair of our Board of Trustees, Dante Wilson, to share a few words.
Good afternoon, everybody. Are you all ready? This is an exciting day, First of all, welcome to Kevin and his family. Thank you all for being here. This is your success as well. Plus, I kept looking over there and like, why is Kevin in the audience? Y'all know if y'all seen his twin brother. I was getting confused for a little bit, but his twin brother's here. But thank you all for being here. And thank everybody else that are here today to support this momentous moment. This is exciting. We're living forward and we reflect backwards. Like when you're making history, you don't realize that. It just feels like an ordinary Thursday. And in 20 years from now, we'll look back and say, that was the day. That was the day that changed the game forever for Charlotte athletics, therefore for the University of North Carolina at Charlotte. So this is an exciting day, and I'm super excited that I've had the privilege to be your chair and to be on the search committee working hard, going through those 100 resumes, interviewing all day long, 2 days straight to be able to make this happen today. And clearly we got the best candidate, the best athletic director in the country, not the country, the world, in the world to lead us forward. I'm confident in that. Well, let me tell you what some of the things that I saw. So obviously, Chancellor mentioned some things that stood out to her. The first thing that I saw was this is a man of achievement, consistent achievement. The second thing that I saw, this was a man that had a vision, a very clear vision. He'll share some of that. He's probably going to share his tagline with you all. And you have to have a vision. You have to know where you're going. And the board, we talk about this often. They've heard me say this often, is that you can't only just have a vision, though. You have to have vision, but vision without execution is hallucination. This is a man that has execution. I've looked through his probably 200-page plan. I can't remember how many pages it is. He has the details for what he wants to do. Not only does he have the details around execution, he's been there and he's done that. He's a student champion, student-athlete champion, and he's proven that over and over again. He's won at very competitive levels and shown us that he knows what it takes to be successful at the highest level, and that's the level that we're going to compete at. But most importantly, this is a man that has a heart. This is a man that cares and that loves, and he believes in team ball, and he believes in the university, and you're going to see him exude that in everything he touches, not just athletics, everything on campus, everything in Charlotte, everything in the region. He's also a man that has lots of connections, which I love, and he's an innovative revenue generator. We jokingly talked about, the Chancellor and I have not received as many calls for people who could immediately write immediate support of the program. And I'm seeing some of you in the audience, and I know others that are going to be watching. I'm going to be calling you for that immediate support so that we can do what we need to do to not only be in the top 75 of all universities from a full student academic success perspective, but to move into the top 50. And athletics has to be a part of that equation. So I'm super excited to be here. Thank you all for allowing us to serve on your behalf to select the best AD in the entire country.
Thank you, Dante. We are very grateful for your leadership and for your ongoing support, so thank you. Now, it is time for us to bring up our new AD so that you can hear from him. It's my sincere pleasure to officially welcome Kevin and his family to Niner Nation and introduce him to you today. Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin White. We're going to stand over here.
Wow, what a day, what a day. I'm really appreciative of everybody stepping up and coming here to support us today. Thank you so much, Chancellor Gaber, for your kind words and for the trust and confidence you have placed in me and my family. Your vision for this university, your leadership, and your belief in what Charlotte can become made a lasting impression on me throughout the process. This is a great job at a great university, and I'm sure you had the opportunity to select from a number of outstanding candidates. I'm truly grateful that you chose to place your trust in me, and I look forward to partnering with you as we continue to elevate Charlotte together. I firmly believe athletics should reflect and advance the broader mission of the university. I'm excited to work alongside you in Charlotte Athletics to serve the powerful front porch of this institution, supporting enrollment, engagement, pride, and opportunity across our entire campus community. I also want to express my sincere appreciation to the Board of Trustees Chair, Dante Wilson, and the members of the Search Committee, Trustee David Raven, and Athletic Administrator Katie Renault. Thank you for your professionalism, your passion for this university, and ultimately your belief in what we can accomplish together at Charlotte. This opportunity represents both a tremendous honor and a tremendous responsibility, and I want you all to know that I'm all in. Before looking ahead, I want to thank the people and institutions that helped shape me along the way. Clemson University has been incredibly special to me and my family. I'm grateful to Athletic Director Graham Neff and ACC Commissioner Jim Phillips for being here today. Both of you have mentored me, you've challenged me, and you supported me in ways that prepared me for this moment, and I'm deeply thankful. I also want to thank American Conference Commissioner Tim Pernetti for being here and making this a special day for me. Commissioner, I appreciate your presence and look forward to working together as we continue to build and strengthen the momentum within this conference. There are also several leaders, who have played an important role in my journey who could not be here today. Max Allen, Clemson University's Chief of Staff, former athletic directors Cheryl Levick, Rick Hart, and Derek Gregg, along with former Clemson President Jim Clemens. Each of them has invested in my growth as a leader, and I'm incredibly grateful for their guidance. Like many people standing in moments like this, no one gets here alone. My faith is very important to me. God has been faithful to our family. My wife, Jari, you are my partner in every sense of the word. I can't look at you right now. You supported every late night, every challenge, every move, every dream along the way. None of this happens without you. To our children, Justin, Camden, and Kinley, thank you for your sacrifice and your strength through change and transition. You inspire me every single day, and I love you more than anything. I'm incredibly grateful to have my mom, my brother, my sister, my sister-in-law, my brother-in-law, my nephews here today supporting our family. My late father would be smiling from ear to ear if he were here today. My parents made countless sacrifices to create opportunities for me, and I carry their love, their values, and example with me every single day. I also want to recognize the good brothers of Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity. The bond we share means a great deal to me. And to my childhood and college friends who made the trip up here today, I really appreciate you for being here. Your presence means more than you know. At my core, the reason I do this comes down to purpose. Back in 2008, I was working in corporate America and found myself asking an important question. What kind of impact am I really having? Am I making a difference where it truly mattered? Around that same time, I watched something special happen year after year. My wife, Jari, is an educator, and I watched lines of parents wait after kindergarten graduations just to say thank you to her for helping to turn the light bulb on for their child, helping them discover a love for reading and a love for learning. And I remember thinking, I want that purpose. I want to make our society better. I found that purpose in college athletics. Do I love to win? Absolutely. And I understand winning will always be a part of how this job is judged. But equally important, maybe even more important, is impacting the lives of young people who walk onto this beautiful campus. We need to help them grow. We want to help them to develop confidence, help them to become good citizens for life after college. And most importantly, graduating with a degree from this great university. That's my why. To our student athletes, we are here to provide you with a first-class experience. We're here to compete for championships. We're here to grow you, develop you, and leave this university with a degree in hand and a future in front of you. Your experience matters. Your development matters. And your success and competition and in the classroom will always be at the center of our decision-making. Charlotte Athletics has extraordinary opportunity in front of it. The university is growing, the city is thriving, and I want everybody to hear this clearly. Charlotte's stock is rising. But in order to truly strike gold, it's going to take all of us. We have more than 189,000 alumni around the country, around the world, and our responsibility is to make sure that they're proud of their university. But greatness requires participation. We need you in the stands. We need you buying tickets. We need you supporting our student athletes. We need you investing, donating, and believing in what we're building together. Because when this university and the city align behind Charlotte Athletics, special things will happen. To our coaches and staff, I know we have talented people here who love the university deeply. That matters. Passion matters, and commitment matters. But if we're going to reach new heights of excellence, it's going to take all of us pulling together, working together, aligned around a shared vision, collaboration, accountability, and unity. This is how we elevate. How will we do it? We'll graduate our leaders, prepare them for meaningful careers. We will compete relentlessly for conference championships, and we will build a program that becomes a source of pride and unity for this entire community. Excellence cannot just live on the scoreboard. Elite must be the standard in everything that we do. How we recruit, how we serve our student athletes, how we engage our fans and donors, how we represent this university every single day. Our coaches have scoreboards that measure wins and losses, but everyone in our department, starting with me, will be accountable to a higher standard. I will never ask more of anyone than I'm willing to give myself. When I commit fully. In the days ahead, I plan to listen, learn, and build strong partnerships across campus and throughout the Charlotte community. Because success here comes from alignment, trustees, campus leadership, coaches, staff, alumni, donors, fans, and our student body rowing in the same direction. Charlotte is an incredible university with visionary leadership. We have passionate supporters, outstanding coaches and staff, and together we have an opportunity to build something truly special. My promise to you is simple. We will lead with integrity. We will compete relentlessly. We will develop young people prepared to lead meaningful lives. And we will represent Charlotte in a way that makes every one of our alumni proud to wear green and gold. My family and I are grateful to be here. The work starts today. The future is bright, and together, let's go strike gold. Thank you. Go Niners.
We will now open up the press conference for the attending media. Just a reminder, please identify yourself and your outlet prior to asking a question. Raise your hand and Reese will pass the mic.
Hunter Bailey with the Charlotte Observer. First, welcome to Charlotte. Chancellor Gaber talked a little bit about one of the 4 boxes she had to check, that being fundraising, that one of those 4 things. You have a lot of background experience with that at Clemson. Will you talk a little bit about that side of the house and then NIL and kind of your plans for that bringing here to Charlotte?
So your name is Hunter? All right. Thanks, Hunter. Yeah, the fundraising piece is really important, right? I'm here at Charlotte. It's been very clear that we need to be leaders in fundraising, but also revenue generation, right? And we have a great team around us here at Charlotte, and we're looking forward to putting that action into place, that plan into place. The fundraising piece is really important for us because we can engage with a lot of different donors. We have 189,000 alumni, and 60% of them live within Charlotte. And so we're going to tap into that base, right? And it starts with Penny Hawkins. She's done a phenomenal job with us. Penny, yep. It starts with Penny. It starts with Penny. And we're going to have success because we're going to look under every rock that we possibly can and connect people back to this great university.
Kevin, Nick Carboni from NBC, welcome.
Thank you, Nick.
What can you apply from the level you were just at Clemson to a level in the American Conference, and what can't you apply, and how do you use that innovation and creativity to reach those goals?
Yeah, so I appreciate that question. I met with the staff. I met with all of our staff and our coaches before earlier today, and it was important for me to meet with them first before I met with anybody from the press or any donors, because I wanted them to know that they're the backbone of what we're doing here and how important they are to our success. I would tell you, I told the staff that, yeah, I'm coming from Clemson, but I'm Charlotte now, right? And I won't reference Clemson very much after today. But I will tell you the thing that really made Clemson great is we didn't rest on our laurels. You know, despite conference, despite going to CFP games and Elite Eight basketball runs, Clemson was never satisfied. And so there's a lot to be taken from that, right? Here at Charlotte, we can never be satisfied. We're going to be great members of the American Conference. We're going to compete at the highest level. But we're never going to be satisfied. We're going to be looking for always ways that we can make things better and have innovative leadership and try to do everything we can in order to make sure that we're successful on the field, on the court, and make sure our student athletes are successful in the classroom as well. And so we're not going to rest until we're successful, and then we're going to keep going after that. So that's what the plan is going to be. And I told the staff that I won't be mentioning Clemson very much anymore. I love Clemson and my time there, but it's time to look forward and bring it back to Charlotte and make Charlotte great.
Hey, Kevin, I'm Eric Spanberg with the Charlotte Business Journal. I'm curious about two things. One is you mentioned that you came from a corporate background in 2008, so I'm curious how you think that affects your approach to college athletics. And then secondly, you mentioned Graham Neff and Commissioner Phillips are here. Curious what advice they may have given you as you were pondering taking this job.
Yeah, thank you, Eric. From a corporate, just being in corporate America from that perspective, I think that that's really helpful for me because most of the institutions that I've been in have been in really major cities, Atlanta, Dallas, Chicago, and now obviously Charlotte. And so being able to understand how corporations operate, foundations, and how they lean into the local universities are something that hopefully I'll be able to bring to the table for us to be able to build those relationships. So regardless of where someone went to school, whether it's Charlotte or other places in the state, we'll be able to show the benefit for them to be able to invest in Charlotte. Jim Phillips, I will tell you, he means so much to my family. He really does. I mean, he's always available for me when I need him. When I have a call, whether it's industry specific or personal. The advice he gave me was Charlotte is a great job. It's a great city. It's on the rise. And they have an opportunity to do great things. And they're in a great conference, a conference that is well respected, a conference that has had a footprint in the CFP, had representation in the CFP. So you could have it all here. Great leadership, alignment from the board, obviously the president, the chancellor, and then obviously the rest of the athletic department. So that's what he told me. That's really important. And Graham, you know, the last 4 years have been really great for me in my professional career. Graham is a younger guy. He's younger than me, but he's got some gray hairs over the last 4 years. But I learned so much from him. The way that he thinks differently. He's innovative. He's been there for both national championships at Clemson. He's been there for 4 national championship games at Clemson. And so you can really attribute a lot of the success that Clemson has had to Graham Neff and Dan Radakovich. And so for me, it taught me a different way of thinking about things, not ever being satisfied. He wanted to make sure that the university was aligned from the board to the chancellor to the athletic department, because we really do have an opportunity to be the front porch here, right? And I know Chancellor Gaber has been at some places where the athletic department is the front porch. And so I'm looking forward to doing that here at Charlotte.
Kevin, welcome. Ashley Mahoney with Axios Charlotte. You step into this role amidst a bit of construction behind us and a revamp not only for a $70 billion football stadium expansion, but also for facilities across athletics. What is your understanding of what's going on right now? Do you have things that you would like to tweak, and how do you envision all of this taking shape?
That's a great question, Ashley. I just actually went to my office for the first time like 2 hours ago. So I'll probably need a little time to really just dig in a little bit on that. But we have great people here. We have great people that have great plans in place. They're expanding the stadium, as you alluded to, and it's going to really fit us really well. I'm looking forward to getting in there with our staff and figuring out ways that we can enhance that for the fan perspective, from a student perspective. But just really looking forward to getting here and getting started, rolling my sleeves up, and understanding how we can potentially make it better.
Curious, so this role opened up about 4 months ago. When did you kind of learn of this, get involved in this, and when did you know that this was the opportunity that you wanted for yourself?
Well, early on, my ties to the state of North Carolina, obviously, when Charlotte came open, I was all ears. I was eager to learn more. And I know the process took their time, and I don't want to talk about the process. That's chancellors and board chairs. That's their process, so I can't really speak to that. But instantly, I was really intrigued by it and interested in it because of Charlotte, because of the city of Charlotte. It really fit a lot of the places that I've been, and I felt like a lot of those things I could translate here, but also because the institution is on the rise. When I was in school in the 90s, it was largely considered a commuter school. Right, and so Chancellor Gaber's leadership and the Board of Trustees, they've changed that narrative. And obviously going to the American is a really competitive conference, and so that a lot of those things really attracted me to the job, along with the continued investments in being an R1 institution. Obviously that happened about a year ago now, and so that opens up other doors for us from an athletic perspective, but also from a university perspective.
Kevin, there's always been made mention of the Fortune 500 presence in this city. What do you think the best way to tap into that is for the athletic program?
I think utilizing the resources that we have around us. I think the connections that we have. Chair Wilson said that he received some phone calls from people that may be connected to me that showed my interest in the job. I think for us, we really make sure that we tap into all of our connections. And so I have some connections at the previous school that I was at. Obviously, the ACC has a large footprint in Charlotte, moving their offices here. And so being able to get involved with the Charlotte Sports Foundation and other organizations is really, really important. This is going to be a large community-based job. I know that. Revenue sharing revenue distribution and revenue generation is important, along with raising money. And so it's going to be very important for me to be tethered to the community and get out and meet as many people as I possibly can to show them why they need to invest in Charlotte and obviously be able to show the return on investment as needed.
Mike Lissette of Carolina Sports Live. I know you just started, but in terms of how hands-on are you going to be with individual teams like, let's say, the football team, in terms of turning that around and giving them the resources that they might need?
Well, that's a great question, Michael. The work has already started. The work has already started. I mean, obviously, Coach just went through a transfer portal season, and Coach has had some success, obviously, at Ohio and his previous places. I mean, he's had a large amount of success. And so really just look forward to getting here and figuring out how I can support him. What resources does he need in order to be successful? That's what my role is. And then once we define that and we have some alignment there, it's my job to go out and try to chase it. So very hands-on with all of our teams. I met with our coaches earlier, our head coaches earlier today, and told them I'm in the foxhole with them, and we're going to do this together. But we need to be all on the same page and rowing in the same direction.
Chancellor Gaber, you mentioned that he checked all of the boxes that were required and then went beyond. What were some of the boxes that he checked that, maybe you weren't looking for, but you found it in him?
Well, I think we've talked a little bit about the community connections. I don't think every candidate comes with, 30 people texting, emailing, calling. It's a kind of, it was fantastic to know that he had a broad sort of range of people here already rooting for him. And, as Trustee Wilson mentioned, I mean, they're people we know. They're people in our community, and as he also mentioned, that haven't necessarily given to the university that we're going to say, hey, this is important. You want to support our AD, you want to support our athletics programs, we want you to do that. So that was an example of one, because that wasn't something we said was a criteria that was a must-have. That was certainly a nice-have.
Now, you've mentioned, of course, the amount of community involvement that you hope to have, and of course this role does not allow for much downtime, but part of that community involvement is allowing people to get to know you. What do you want people to know, whether it's your favorite music, things that you try to take advantage of, whether it's hiking, fishing, whatever the case may be, but what do you do when you're not grinding on this 24/7?
Yeah, I appreciate that question. My kids are important to me. Being able to watch them compete. They play sports. My son plays lacrosse, and my daughter is a soccer player. I've coined myself as the unofficial photographer, team videographer for his lacrosse program. I'm not very good at it because he doesn't hold back any punches when he tells me that, I missed this shot or I didn't get the best angle. But I try. I really enjoy that, and it really gives me a sense of being able to spend time with them and pouring into something that's important to them. And then my daughter and I just started, I don't want to embarrass her, but we just started this thing together, putting together Legos. She's really big into Legos, and I found myself when I'm doing that, I try to not be as distracted with my phone and text messages and things of that nature, but she kindly reminds me, you're on your phone again, you're on your phone again. And so that's what I would tell you. And then the last thing that we like to do as a family, which may surprise some of you if you know my wife, is we like to go fishing. But she doesn't want to touch the worms, the fish, the pole, or anything like that. And so we really enjoy that. But it's controlled fishing. It's got to be a pond with stock, trout, or whatever. We got a timer now. We're sitting out there for like more than 10 minutes, then it's time to go. So fishing, Legos, and videographer for my son's lacrosse team.
And Kevin, looking into your background, saw some hoop love playing in college. I'm curious, two-part question, one on the sentimental side, one on the business side. Favorite basketball memory for you, sentimental side, and then business side with men's and women's program here. What are kind of your visions for those moving forward?
Favorite basketball memory. I was fortunate enough to play at Oak Hill Academy, and that was an amazing experience. Amazing experience. One of my teammates was Brett Carey, who's one of the assistant basketball coaches here. Dee Tolliver, too, if some of you know that name. I played with Dee Tolliver back in the 90s. So just being at Oak Hill back then and being able to travel the country and play basketball was something that I never imagined in my wildest dreams. And believe it, at one point, I think I had played against or with a player on every single NBA team. That was a cool fact. But I'm never close to being in the NBA. But that was one of my pride points of being able to say that. So that's probably one of my favorite basketball memories. I love hoops. I do. We have some great coaches here that have had success. Coach Reed and Coach Fern have had some success. They've had, the last two nights they've had two close ones, and they both figured out a way to pull it out in the end. And so just really wrapping my arms around them, supporting them, and making sure they got all the resources they need in order to be successful in this really competitive environment. But just looking forward to being around those student athletes. I feel a lot of energy when I'm around our basketball student athletes, along with the other student athletes too, but just basketball is is something that I hold pretty dear to my heart, and just looking for different ways to support them in any way that I can.
Thank you. That concludes our press conference for today. So please travel safely getting home, and go Niners.